Hey patent friends, welcome back to another video coming to you today from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And I figured this would be a good opportunity to talk about patent attorneys working remotely and how possible that is. So stick around, we are starting right now. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Dylan Adams. I am a patent attorney and author of the best-selling book, Patents Demystified, which is an insider's guide to protecting ideas and inventions used by inventors, entrepreneurs, and startups worldwide, including at top universities like Harvard, Stanford, and MIT. You might also recognize me from my appearance on CNBC's hit show, The Profit, with Marcus Lemonis. So this channel's got a lot of content about patents, and this video is going to be about working remotely as a patent attorney, the good things, the bad things, how possible is it? So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. When it comes to working remotely, let me kind of tell you about what I do day in, day out, which allows me to work remotely. A lot of times I'm working at home, I'm hanging out with my cats, watching Netflix, and I just happen to be on vacation right now and I'm working remotely from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So a lot of what a patent attorney does, it's going to be via email, and it's going to be things like planning patent protection with clients, it's going to be drafting patent applications, and it's going to be the examination process with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. So it's a lot of writing, a lot of things that you can do independently and kind of remotely. And I'll kind of explain those things here, and why, being a patent attorney at least, a lot of times you can totally have a remote practice and work from awesome exotic locations if you want to, or just chill at home. So in that list of things I do as a patent attorney, you'll notice that one of those is not going to court. Patent attorneys typically, unless you're a patent litigator, you are never going to be going to court. Working with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, that's typically going to be remote stuff. I mean, the last time I was in court was when I got sworn in as an attorney, which is one of the big benefits. Also, patent work in the United States, it's a federal practice, and so really I can represent clients in any state, coming from any state, and really worldwide. I've even had clients from Cuba. So really, I can work from any location. I'm not limited to specific states like most attorneys are. Another benefit of patent practices is they tend to be the kind of thing that you can work very independently. And by that I mean is you're doing a lot of writing by yourself. When you're working with team members, whether it be other attorneys, say partners or associates or staff, you're going to be working with them via email, if necessary via phone or video, but by and large you're working alone a lot. You're drafting responses to office actions, you're drafting patent applications, so it's something that lends well to being in really any location. Also, a patent practice is one that you can make pretty much 100% digital, and it's something I've actually had to work on for a while. I started out at firms where everything was in paper copies. You would have each patent application would have its own file, and you would always print out every single email and print out a copy of the patent application and every office action and all the paper that you got from the USPTO. But things now are pretty much totally digital. So like the stuff you get from the United States Patent and Trademark Office, they used to mail things, and now it's via email, and there's electronic copies online, and very rarely, if ever, do you need to file in paper. I mean, it's been probably 10 years before since I've had to file in paper. You do that maybe in some sort of emergency situation where like the internet goes down or the USPTO website goes down, which does happen sometimes. But even with that, because one of the things we have to do is we have to review prior art. A lot of times when we're responding to office actions, rejections from the USPTO, we need to look at the prior art and do an analysis of that. And for a long time, I would print out every single piece of prior art and put notes on it, but I've really forced myself to do things digitally, and now I would say 99% digital. I have a few little notes and a few little docketing things that I do on paper still, but aside from that, yeah, 100% digital when it comes to working. It also works really well, like I said, with the USPTO. Everything you do back and forth with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, it's going to be digital. Things are filed in paper, you get responses via email, you can talk to examiners over the phone, you can talk to examiners via email a lot more these days. They're a lot more open to that. So it really works well as a digital practice, and the people you correspond with, whether they be the patent examiners, whether they be your clients, whether they be staff, other attorneys, again, that's going to be all digital communication. Vast majority, I would say, is email. A lot more video these days. You can do examiner interviews via video, but a lot of times it's going to be phone, and a lot of stuff happens via email as well. So yeah, something that really makes for a great remote practice. Another thing about a patent practice, and especially one that makes it great for working remotely, is that you see deadlines coming off miles away. So to give you an example, so you file your patent application at the USPTO. Once examination begins, you get what are called office actions, where there's rejections. At the bare minimum, you're typically going to have 3 months to respond, and if you absolutely need to, you can extend those deadlines by paying some extra fees. So, I really see when deadlines are happening. I see when they're coming, which makes it easy to plan ahead. So, I know some folks who are, say, like litigators who, they get, things that they have to do within a few days, like 10 days, and they come out of nowhere, so they can't really plan their own schedules. And I know of litigators who had to cancel vacations or work the whole time in the hotel room. And for me, as long as I'm generally on top of my docket, it's really easy to work remotely and to work a bit here and there and not have big surprises that are going to totally derail a vacation or make it so it's not possible to work remotely. So while I'm a huge fan of working remotely and I'm able to do it really well, it's not for everybody and not for every working situation. So for me, like I said, my practice is mostly patent prosecution, which is planning patent protection, drafting patent applications, and working examinations through the USPTO, during examination, right? So that allows me to do remote work. But if you have a practice that is, say, litigation or things that aren't just that kind of work, it may be more difficult. It's also harder at certain firms too. My firm is really good, and I've always been good about making my practice very, very digital and remote compatible. Some firms aren't really good at that. So for instance, they still have paper files, they work in paper all the time, and they can have an office culture where people are expected to be in every day. Productivity is viewed kind of based on how often you're in the office and who stays late and things like that. I've never been a fan of that. I think it's all about, just getting your work done, and luckily the firm that I work at, being in the office is important. It's important for office culture and also for, for mentoring folks and things like that. But it's not something that is absolutely essential to succeeding. But those may be some things to consider. Is if your firm is very paper centric, or if it's a really strong office culture and it's going to be looked down upon, it may not be an easy thing to totally be working remotely. Also, you want to keep in mind too that it's a very personal thing. Some people are not productive working remotely or working at home. It would just ruin a vacation to be doing any work, or they're not good at separating personal time from work time. I tend to be really good about that. I'm a lot more productive working at home or working remotely. I would much rather be in Bangkok or on the beach here in Puerto Vallarta than in an office somewhere. I'd much rather be at home. I'm not the kind of person who gets distracted. I'd rather be, chilling with my cats on my couch watching Netflix or something. But it's not for everybody. I know some people, they need to have the separation. They need to be able to go into the office, or they don't have space available at home. So that's one thing that may not be perfect for everybody when it comes to remote working as a patent attorney. But I would say, by and large, patent attorneys especially, when it comes to various types of law practices, patent attorneys have a pretty easy time working remotely. I mean, there have been folks who have been some of my best mentors or some of the best people that I've worked with, and I've barely seen them in person ever. I've had people who I've worked with who have been in completely different states. Like, so I'm based in Seattle. I've had folks, who are in New Jersey, in California, and really never, have any connection with them, personally, physically, in person, but we have a great working relationship. I have a great team with these folks. So, I'd love to hear comments down below. Let me know if you work remotely, if you want to work remotely. What are you doing to, to try to make it better for you? So, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content on patent attorney lifestyle, and we will see you again in the next video. Thanks.